That's disrespectful. You call me regular.
All right, let's do this.
I mean, people like hearing that stuff, so.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
All right, yo, Stick This Podcast, episode 195. George, Greg, back in the building. Special guest on the line. We got the homie Sockjig.
Popular man. His followers been going through the roof lately. Ever since he been on the show, let that rain clear.
I've been riding on the coattails of the clout from this podcast.
Yes. Some of y'all have requested Sockjig numerous times to be back on the show. He is one of our most popular guests. You know, if we had to make a top 10 list of guests to listeners, he's definitely in the top 5. Appreciate you coming on like always. So we'll be getting into stuff that, you know, a lot of y'all like to discuss, you know, why y'all get L's and you know, and how others cook. Is that what it's called? Cook?
I guess. I don't know. That's terminology that's only a couple of years old now.
So we'll start the show like always. Then we'll get into like some of the topics. Obviously, we're going to talk about Travis Scott, Raffles, sneakers, bots, monitors. A lot of people always ask when George says the monitor, they never know what he's talking about. So we'll talk about all that today. Everybody weekend good? Weekend was good. Went to Seattle. Love Seattle.
Yeah, you got to talk about that.
Love Seattle. I would live in Seattle again, back up in that area. I love it. I want to go back. I want to stay there. It's one of my favorite cities.
You didn't go on like 4th and Pine, did you? That McDonald's?
I went.
Didn't anybody talk about it while you were there?
No, not at all.
That's that McDonald's that Alan said was crazy. Like people just busted. That was where the last 2 shootings happened or whatever.
They were talking about them cats on the radio.
He said them cats just be like selling whatever, marijuana, crack cocaine, whatever, right outside the store.
It's a free place out there. It's very free out there. Everything was good out there.
I don't know what that means.
Me and my wife
bullets free too.
We enjoyed ourselves. I just love the area. Shout out to Seattle. Flight was good going. Flight coming back was absolute one of the scariest flights ever.
Which means it was regular.
No, let me tell you. I'm not going to use the accent.
Were you on Alaska Airlines or what?
No, I wish I was in Alaska. I love Alaska. We're on Southwest.
Right.
And first of all, any flight that takes 2 hours or more should have TVs in the headrest by now. Period.
Southwest, you're not getting that. You get cheaper flight.
I know that, but you know what? Come on, man. You got to give me something. All right. Now, there was a guy who got on the plane. Let's say he had an accent. I'm not going to do the accent because it's very specific. Was angry. That's all I'm going to say. All right. Left the plane and came back. I wouldn't have let him leave the plane. Him and his wife. He didn't know Southwest was free seating. He thought his number.
Oh, yeah, people always do that.
He thought his group number was a seat. He was like, "Where's C27?" They were like, "Fam, go find a seat." He was like, "Where's the seat?" I mean, he was yelling. And then him and the wife just left the plane. Like, left. And they were like, "Oh, guess they left." And they came back. I was like, "No, once you leave the plane, you shouldn't be able to get back on."
That's normally what they say.
Flight was rocky. Then I don't know what. It was crazy. No joke. I think I heard the pilot say Mayday. Like, no joke over there. Even my wife said it was bad.
Yes, they said it to the passengers.
He was on the thing, Mayday, Mayday. It was terrifying. We flew through every single type of weather you could. Snow, rain, sunny, winter. I'm not even joking. It was one of the worst I've ever been on. And Rocio even said it. It was a few times where we clinched.
You must have been in the bathroom peeing on yourself.
I almost broke her hand. But see, that was good.
Bruh, you are a weenie. You are a 100% Class A weenie on flights.
So?
Don't watch the YouTube channel I've been watching lately.
I always watch those. I watch planes.
No wonder.
I watch planes take off weird. I watch bad weather flights. I watch planes crash. I just hate it. I'm addicted to it. Terrified. But I have a plan. If the plane started going down, I have a plan. So, but I can't tell everybody because they all try it on the flight.
To survive or just to like do?
I can't tell you.
Okay.
I can't tell you.
Did you get the mac and cheese at the Fisherman's Wharf or whatever it's called? What's it called?
Beachers.
Pikes.
At Pike Place.
Yeah.
We did a tour of Pike Place with a food critic. Shout out to him.
Dang, you guys are lit.
So we did a private little tour thing. It was awesome. Went around, tasted the foods from everywhere. Did all that. First of all, real quick.
Did they let you catch the fish?
No. They wouldn't throw a fish if somebody was buying one. They wouldn't even throw them unless somebody bought one.
That's how it is now.
So there was a lot of people standing around, but they didn't even know. And I was like, come on, man, get out the way. But I'm going to tell you this. We went to the gum wall. I'm going to tell you this.
Nasty.
It was disgusting. They had cleaned it 6 weeks ago, all back.
Nasty.
The Jordan 5.
Walking down to it is disgusting the whole way.
Oh, it is good. It is. Jordan 5 off-whites are absolute fire. Not even a question. Is Sockjig on here still? He left?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
Listen.
I saw this kid.
Well, I mean,
I saw this kid wearing them. Absolute fire. Period. I don't care what anybody says about Off-White Jordan 5. A fire. I was like, even Rosie would look at them. I started looking at them like, them joints are clean.
Yeah, she gave you the A-OK to buy them.
Yeah, right. I'm not cutting to the budget that deep. But them joints was fire. Trip fire.
You get any pairs, Sark?
Nope, I missed out on that one.
Have you seen it in person yet?
I have not seen it in person,
Okay.
but it's a fire shoe. I agree.
Okay. I didn't expect that.
I didn't expect that either.
The king of dad shoes coming with the unpopular opinion. All right.
I end up liking like a lot of sneakers more than you guys do. You guys call stuff trash way more than I do, but I know your definition of trash is. Like you explained it last week, something could be trash, but you could be buying it if it's on sale.
I sent George a screenshot of I'm talking like the DM.
Yeah, but see, that's people get upset when we do that, but because we don't mean that it's like there's more stuff that Gregory will pay less for by saying trash on the show. To me, if I say trash, it just means I'm not wearing it. I mean, it does, more up tempos, like pictures came out today that's releasing trash.
But one of the greatest basketball sneakers of all time. Fire trash. But that fire trash is gonna be the new statement. And I'll be honest with you, I might buy them.
No, you ain't.
I've bought.
Fam, we need to stop.
Well, what's your price point, right? Like the shoe is nice, but when it's $800, it's like, are you gonna go that far? But if it's 500, 400, 600, maybe I'll jump in.
I wore my green Sakai's pretty much all weekend. Those are $500 shoes to buy. Like, I would trade my Travis Scott 6 for another pair right now in my size. Like right now, like without a question. Like that shoe, hands down, one of the best shoes ever. To me,
I don't know. I seen somebody wearing those Travis Scott 6s, like a small foot person. If you roll your pants up, them joints actually look unadulterated fire. I'm not gonna lie. Now I'm not wearing them because I wear size 12.
Rolling your pants up a lot this weekend wearing SB Dunks.
Always do that. That's the only way to wear SBs now.
So then you should.
I try to wear highs. No, I wore those specifically because I was like, it's a test, and I knew you were in Seattle, and everybody was. You had posted that picture, and everybody was. I was like, watch, I'm about to blow the entire spot up. Blow the entire social media feed up with this.
Look,
I was about to roll an ankle in those Sakai waffles. I don't know how you were able to walk around here in those.
I mean, what was you doing? Huh?
Well, they're like platform shoes. They're high, right? And there's not much support on the side. So,
well, how tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
Oh, okay. See, I'm around between 5 foot and 6 foot. So
somewhere in the middle.
My center of gravity is way different than yours. So I'm built more like a really short Reggie Bush.
Yes, built like a Skittle.
I'm built like Mark Ingram. Like I'm very tree stumpish, thick. You can't knock me over.
What are you talking about?
These are true statements.
All right.
I gotta say, I really enjoyed how you revealed over like a period of 4 months how you have every single Sakai ever released.
Relax. But I'm down.
You're like, oh yeah, I got that one. I never mentioned it.
I'm down to one now, but like I said, I would trade if anybody wants the Travis Scott 6, I'd take one of the other ones.
Why don't you just get something you don't have?
What do you mean?
Like Travis Scott Low 1 or one of the dunks or both of the dunks.
I don't think I would wear the Travis Scott.
You probably could get
as much as I would the Sakai. My Sakai green's beat now.
Okay, so you probably could get Biotech and Plum dunks for that, and maybe you got to add $100 or something, but you get both.
Oh, we're definitely copping plums. Like you and I, we're gonna figure out plums. We're copying plums. Period. Them joints are absolute fire.
I mean, you better hope. You better call SB Connect, even though they're not SBs.
We're getting plums. All right, that's a fact.
I don't know how that's gonna happen.
Anybody buy anything this week? Pickups, Sockjig. You cop anything or a ton of things?
A bunch of things. I got these New Balance 1300 Japan ones. Ones that you were talking about last week that they're just regular.
Wait, did you get those for yourself?
I bought one for myself and one a size 9.5, which I'll flip and reduce the price of the $300 that I paid for the other one.
Okay, so just to get your opinion on it, do you have Tom Sachs as well?
Of course.
Okay.
I got the overshoe and I got the 2.0.
Okay.
Sock is a thought. I don't know if you knew that, but
now is do you view both of them on the same level of fire or not fire, whatever? Like,
yeah. I gotta say, I was listening to this conversation last week, and I'm like, I think Tom Sachs are fire to me, but it's got a life of its own to shoot now. I bought it back on StockX for like $700, and like I said earlier, there's a price point of shoes where I'll buy and I'll wear. Like if it was $1,000 back then, I probably wouldn't have bought it. And so I liked it then, and I bought it and I wear it. If I bought it, like if I had never worn it, and I see now that it's worth like $3,000, $4,000, well, I'm probably not wearing that shoe, right? But I think it's a fire shoe, and it's not just the design. It's like there's a story behind it. Even this New Balance, the story of this shoe is amazing. It only releases every 5 years.
Yeah, and it's not about with the story or not. I'm saying as a shoe, aesthetically, how it looks, they're pretty much on the equal plane. Like I don't view.
And what I'm saying, it's not just aesthetics, right? If we, there's always this common thing that people always say, if that didn't say Off-White on it, it would be a GR and everyone would hate it.
Right.
But it does say Off-White on it. That is the thing. It has a story, right? These New Balance have a story. These Mars Yards have a story. There's all this background stuff that is just as important as how it looks. So a fire shoe is when all those kind of come together. You could not give a shit about Tom Sachs's, story that this artist guy has a shoe. You could not care about New Balance and the 5-year thing, and you can then focus on just the one part and say it's trash. But it's like a like a pie chart. There's multiple parts to it that make a shoe fire to me. To me.
Oh, okay. What else did you grab this week?
So I grabbed that. No, actually, I wanted to. I'm gonna say I was listening to the last couple of the podcast, and I was like, man, some of these takes have been wild lately by Gregory.
Like what?
I was talking to my friend Brendan, and he's like, man, he's calling you Sneaker Skip Bayless.
Okay, wait a minute. You know what? I don't understand.
It's a good thing you not Sneaker Bomani Jones, because you be out of a job.
What?
They canceled High Noon.
Oh, they did?
It would be High Noon.
Oh, which I figured. I mean, it comes at a weird time. Like
noon, right?
No, something like that.
I assumed.
It was mostly that Jordan 3 one. Like I think, did you call him whack or something? Right? Like that's an historically important shoe, and you of all people go nuts about a shoe being iconic or not.
No, but we each got some blame because you called Air Max 90 washed and I called Jordan 3 washed. So same difference, equal.
Oh no! You called Jordan 3 trash.
Yeah, but that's but I corrected immediately though.
Yes, no, and I understand when you say trash. When I say something is washed means like, come on. Air Pippin up tempo, Air More tempo is washed. Legendary. Fire. It's washed. Who's walking around wearing that? You gotta be from New York. Like, and you gotta be about 6, and you can't be just 6 feet tall. You gotta be 6 feet tall and about 210. Like, come on. Like, stop it.
You gotta be 6'7".
Like, no, so that's just a language thing. Lately, people have just been upset at some of the stuff that we've said. And I'm like, man, come on, man. Like, what do you want me to do? Like,
no, I can say I enjoy them. I'm just joking about the Skip Bayless things. You enjoy his takes, but you're listening every week. Right?
I get Skip Bayless. I get Stephen A.
He likes Skip Bayless, though. That's the thing.
I get Joe Budden.
I know.
I get the Joe Budden of sneakers. I get all that stuff, which is fine with me. Like, but the thing is, I have to be able to explain why. I have to back it up, and I stick to it. Like, I don't care what anybody say. Air Max 90s, washed. Legendary sneaker. Top 10 sneaker of all time. But they're washed. Like, nobody wants to wear an Air Max 90s. Now, if I came across an Air Max 90 for $77, copped. Immediately. Not even a question. In which I will come across them for $77. They're sitting. Nobody wants them.
I don't know about that.
I got the Volt one. It's pretty nice. They brought the OG box back. It's like lower mudguard. It doesn't look like a boot like the old ones do. So it's definitely wearable. And like, when you're saying wash, you're really saying, is it wearable in 2020, right?
No,
like just like you say.
No, it's a
Jordan 11s are harder to wear, but still, you can still wear them if you really.
Yeah,
Air Max 90s are still fire. The Viotech I wear all the time.
Air Max 90s that are special, like I said, special.
Yeah, that's fine.
Off-White, Viotechs, all suede.
Whatever, that's fine.
I said all suede Air Max 90s are fire. You know which ones aren't fire? The OGs, because legendary and all that, but OGs have like 6 different materials.
Oh, infrareds come out, I'm buying.
fine. That's fine. But
the one in March is coming is the duck camo, the Atmos duck camo.
Yeah. Absolute fire. You know why? It's all suede.
It's going to be a reverse duck camo this time in March.
It doesn't even look like infrared though. It looks trash.
Stop it.
I sent the picture to Greg and Simple the other day, or whatever it was, yesterday or 2 days ago, and they obviously Simple lost his mind because he loses his mind for everything. But then I said,
I'm pretty sure that was a mock-up though. The one that's floating around for the duck camo, that's just a mock-up.
Well, you're right, but Cephalosha already wore it on the court though. He wore it last night.
Yeah.
I never saw that.
Yeah, he wore it, and the color still looks off. It looks better than it did on that picture because that picture looked like it was like almost orange. But something about it is weird. Like when I first read the tweet, I thought it meant they're making a retro, a direct retro. I was like, this looks trash. And then I reread it, and I was like, oh, it's not a retro, it's reverse. But something about it's still off to me.
It just doesn't look as
doesn't mean I'm not going to try to buy it. But
it doesn't look as vibrant as the other one. But that one is all suede materials. OG models have mesh, suede, leather, like 3-4 different types of materials on it. It's like, yo, fam.
Yeah, but what was on the original duck camo? Maybe it wasn't like that.
All suede. It's all suede. So
the toe box too?
Toe box, everything is all suede on the original duck camos. Absolute fun.
All right, well.
What else you grabbed, Sock?
I got the Yeezy Taillight 350, the one with the orange at the back.
You keep it?
Did you get it in Canada, or where'd you get it from? Because I don't even think it released in the U.S., did it?
No, I got some on some EU sites. I was up at midnight PST checking out. I'm not wearing those. The 350s are only for people who pay resale. Nobody else should be wearing them. I picked up the Dauncey AF1 highs, those blue things.
Those are fire.
So wait, I was going to ask you about that. I saw your tweet where you said you like had time to eat a sandwich, mop the floor, get your credit card. So that was the American Express thing. Maybe we should just add that as a topic to the list, but we have to explain that too. Because I have an American Express credit card, and I didn't realize there was resale on that, or I would have tried to buy it. I didn't want to click that one link. That joint looked like spam to me.
So when that shoe comes out, like, there was alert, the stuff leaks earlier, the shoe's releasing, and you don't really know if this shoe is, going to be out sneakers, if Kith and Livestock and everyone else is going to get it, or if it is like you said, the All-Star Weekend exclusive. Right. And so then it, just that day it came out that it's like an American Express exclusive on this American Express site. That was a weird drop too, where it was. They announced it was going to be at like 9 a.m. my time, and then it actually dropped early, and there was no like bot protection. So because when they announced it, people are set up to monitor it. And we can get into like monitoring and stuff too later. And then I know they canceled a lot of those orders. And then later they just changed like the subdomain instead of like AmericanExpress.justdawn.com. They made it like something else. Just Dawn, and that's the one I caught. So I got like the restock that was like an hour in the afternoon that day.
And you like Air Force Ones, right?
I do, but not the highs, only the lows.
Oh, okay. So did you only got one of those, or?
Yeah, only one of those. And they sent me the wrong size, and they were like, "You still want it?" They were like, "We don't have your size. You want this other one?" And I was like, "Sure," because then I'll just flip it. So yeah, it's one of those shoes which is, it's nice when because it's limited. But if it was, like you said, if it was GR, I don't think I would wear it.
I think it's actually nice. It's probably the better, if not the best, All-Star sneaker that came out that day.
Stop, man.
Dude, my mic seems weird. You guys can hear me,
Your
right?
mic is fine. Okay. And stop talking about Air Force One highs like they're nice.
Right.
Don's not here. It's okay.
It's a nice Air Force One.
Fam. Like, the nicest piece of dookie in that toilet over there. What are you talking about?
Okay. All right.
What's Clark Kent say about highs?
Clark Kent likes everything. All right.
Clark Kent says, if you dream it, you can believe it. What did he say?
He said if you have a positive outlook. That's why I don't get nothing. I don't cop because I'm negative. I'm like, all right, you freak.
And my last recent pickup was the plums. I got, I actually bought them on, I tweeted this, I bought them on StockX for like $210 before the release. And then the price went up to like $260, $270 or whatever. And then the seller never shipped. And then I emailed StockX, and then the price had dropped down to like $240. And I think what StockX does is if the price difference is only like $20-$30 from what you paid for it, they'll just buy it for you and from a different seller and ship it to you. But if the price shoots up like $300, they're going to be like, sorry, buddy, here's your refund.
Oh, I didn't know they did that. Or you think they do?
Yeah, no, I've had that happen a couple times, and a couple times I've had it, where they refund it, and the difference is if it's only like $20-$30, I've noticed that they'll try very hard to find you a new seller.
George, you cop anything?
I don't know. Is that it? You done?
Yeah, that was it. That was the last one.
The only thing I copped was Earth Yeezy from the Adidas raffle app, the small size 6.
Oh, you got one?
Yeah.
You got it yet?
Delivered tomorrow, I think.
Oh.
I'm sure it sucks.
I signed up for all the
obviously
raffles
just for resale.
for all of them, but
you
didn't win anywhere. Yeah.
Well, where?
End. Well, maybe End wasn't Earth. I don't know.
Oh yeah, End might have been the other one.
Whatever the colors were in this pack, I signed up for them. Like whatever.
That's the only one I did. Adidas app, because I don't really care about anything else. Adidas app, I must be like the highest level of VIP because I never lose a raffle and I always get base size.
They did this thing, size 12 actually sells for the most because apparently there was some sort of misorder where they accidentally ordered size 12 and a half because the UK 12 is 12 and a half. And
US,
so 12 is, US 12 is super rare, but like the US 12 and a half is like everywhere. So if you see the prices and you're wondering why size 12 is going for so much more, that's why.
Which is super weird because I remember when the first 350s, the first 3 colors came out, 12 and a half was like double the price or whatnot of a size 12. I mean, it was exponentially higher. Bruh, I just looked on GOAT and this pack, the Jordan Beginnings pack, is $1,700. What in the world?
High. I've seen it higher than that. I mean, obviously.
In smaller sizes, I'm sure it is, but bruh.
Because the stock is like super low.
Fam.
Like less than 5,000, less than.
It must be. A size 9 is $2,600.
Wait a minute. The pack is less than the ones that were numbered?
Way, way, way less.
What was the point of numbering one if you make I'd rather the pack be numbered.
Well, I think if they told everyone that the pack was numbered to say 4,000, people would be going nuts. And I think they did it on purpose. They didn't want people to be going nuts even more than they already were in Chicago.
Look, not a single person wants.
I don't like shoes companies no more.
Not a single person wants airships, whatever they call it. Them joints are whack.
You should be able to ID a Jordan 1 Low OG shape online. And we talked about it last week. You should be able to ID a Dunk. I didn't look it up. I'm assuming you can.
Of course, you used to be able to.
Did you look it up?
Yeah, not anymore.
It's not on there?
No.
Dang!
Air Max 90s, 97s, Kyries, PGs.
Fernando, why are you throwing Kyries and PGs in a list with ultra classics? What are we doing
Look,
here?
I'm talking about what you can ID now.
Oh, I thought you said what you should be able to.
No. Air Force Ones are on there, but it was sold out. But I don't know.
Yeah, everybody making a Union 1 colorways like geeks. A bunch of sheeps going to the herd.
Fire though.
I mean, I'm not Air. Because the original color is fire, but you're a geek if you're making a shoe that's not even the original shoe. Now, what I've done with a Dunk, if it was on there, you're absolutely right.
Don't act like everybody didn't turn every single sneaker into a Yeezy color and all that.
Yeah, but we didn't do that. That's my point.
Black Yeezys.
Okay, we didn't do this either, so you don't have to be as mad.
No, but Dunks were not on there. I'm not going to order Air Force One. You already know that. Bruh, if they had Jordan 1 Low OG on there,
oh, stop it.
That would have made the Union colorway.
No. If they would have had Jordan 1 Low OG on there, I would have bought
yes, a full size run.
Bro, I would have bought.
Yes, one of a million colors. I'm aware, yes.
I literally would have made, I don't know how many pairs and just bought about 10 of them in my size for myself.
Whatever, man.
I still haven't wore Lance Mountain Jordan 1 Lows. Have you?
Is that the brown one?
The brown one.
Yeah.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I think I only wore it once, but yeah, I did.
I forgot, man.
Fire.
I don't know.
Oh, it's fire.
It looked like sack lunches.
No, you just got to wear it with...
Yeah, it's a sack lunch.
You got to wear it with blue denim only, but like lighter color blue denim. Trust me.
Thank you.
Fire, fam. Fire.
You got to wear the denim
white laces.
that George's been wearing with all the holes in them and everything.
And white laces only. Don't put other color laces in them unless you got pink laces.
Pink laces.
Okay, that was a joke based on the fact that every shoe right now has pink laces in it.
Yeah, but you are dying for Travis Scott lows, so you could throw them pink laces in there.
You know what's funny is that's the only reason I would even care about them is just to put pink laces in them, and I have no idea why.
Everybody I saw wearing.
Only reason you saying that is because I talk, and we could get Sock's opinion too, is because I talk about rust pinks. That's the only reason you saying that.
Fam, get off rust pinks.
That's the only reason you brought that up. Sock, rust pinks fire or not? Just say yes.
That's a fire shoe. Of course it is.
Of course it's fire.
Okay.
What are you talking about? It's overrated though.
It's overrated for $6,000. You absolutely right. That shoe should not resell for more than $750,000. You absolutely right.
Fam, listen to what it shouldn't resell for no more than $300.
Fam,
I get it.
Tom Sachs is the same way, right?
It's limited.
It's a nice shoe. Everyone liked it, and then it gets to the point where whatever
y'all are
Asian buyers, whoever takes it and makes it their own, and the price skyrockets.
Y'all are something else about these. Tom Sachs. I swear to God. Now, if y'all don't stop with this,
you act like it's like two random people you know. Simple thinks they're fire.
Simple thinks everything is fire.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not using him as a reference. I'm just going down a list. Didn't Andrew say they're fire? Fam,
Andrew,
what are you doing? Your mic is fine.
Andrew wore Jordan 8s today. So he doesn't. I don't even know what his opinion matters.
Right,
he didn't wear Jordan 8 Aquas. He wore Jordan 8 Suns.
I'm not getting into that.
All right, so
Tom Sachs are fire because it's a shoe that shouldn't exist. Like, why would a company like Nike give some artist, who's not super huge or anything, this shoe? There's so much leeway to make a super expensive shoe. Especially the first one that was made with like actual astronaut gear or whatever. And so that and even the overshoe, that's an art project shoe. It's made of this Dyneema material, all this kind of space age stuff. It's fire, but it's a weird shoe.
Expert,
right? And so it should not exist. What's what I like about it.
All right. On the show.
Hey, I'm just being honest with you.
Right,
yeah. So hold on. So the best part about that, the Tom Sachs thing, was today somebody tweeted it, and I seen it on Twitter. They were like, bro. Once I found out they made people do jumping jacks to buy the original Tom Sachs shoe, I fell over. I was dying laughing. Imagine going to space camp or whatever, they making you do jumping jacks and you get the shoe. Hilarious.
You should have to answer an equation.
Yes, you got to go work at JPL for 6 months.
Whatever that equation was, they figured out how to get the Apollo 13 back to Earth. That's what you got to figure out. Then you get a pair. All right. What comes out this week? Let's do that real quick so we could get into why everybody takes L's and everybody else doesn't.
It's not that much because I looked at it already.
Be judicial with whether they're fire or trash or not, because I don't want any problems this week.
Well, I'm going to say these first, even though no one really cares about it because it's a collab. So GmbH times Gel 9360 A6. There's they're calling it Rover, but it's almost like goldish. There's a gold one and a black pair coming out.
I have no idea what that is.
So this is the gold one. It's not bad.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's got like a raspberry sole or something.
Yeah.
That one, that was actually cheap on GOAT.
This one's on a retail already.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not buying it, but it's not bad looking. Let's see
There's
here.
There's some Kiko ASIC E6 that look like that. I like the Kiko ones.
Yeah, they're all right. I like them.
The Ultra Boost that I think I've seen some people talking about is the all orange one. It almost looks like Phoenix Suns orange coral. That one's coming out even with the orange boost. It's not bad. There's an Ultra Boost coming out. I'm not going to talk about because they're whack. The Question Mid Georgetown. No, you laughing at it?
You're joking, right?
I mean, you the question guy.
Okay. I ask questions.
You the question and answer guy.
Reebok Question is a great shoe, but stop it. You would think Iverson had one shoe in his entire career. I've already talked about questions before on this podcast hundreds of times. Enough with questions. All right? Enough with questions. All right? Lord. What else you got? Questions. Iverson ain't been to college.
This says that Fear of God 1 Black Suede is coming out, but I haven't seen anything about that. So
hey, son.
I think it's delayed.
Hold on, son. Okay. Do you have any Fear of God ones?
Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a big stack, orange stack right here. I got the first two ones, turn your mic up. The black ones, and I got the first two SA ones as well.
Are you sure it's that one?
Yeah, it's this one. Can you hear me now?
No, I could hear you before, but look when I'm talking where the green bar is, and then you talk.
Well, now it's hot.
Okay, better now. All right, you good?
Man, what? That's
fine. All right, Jordan 5 Golf Low Fire Red, Fire.
Absolute fire. Wait, hold on. Do you like Fear of God ones?
I like them. I have them, but I've never worn them.
Fear of God ones are
which one? The original?
Fire. Yes.
The original. I got the original two, and I got the two SA ones.
SAs?
And
the first pack.
The basketball version, but they never really did again.
The highs, right?
There was two in the first pack they did with white and gray or gray and whatever it was. There was two shoes that came out for each color. Oh, it was a completely different
one's
model.
got like laces, like you can wrap the laces around as well too.
Oh, those ones, had the big swoosh on it. They're okay.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
the highs though are absolute fire. If I get my hands on these gray question ones, I'm gonna keep those ones. So.
They suck. That's Fear of God ones suck. Let me be clear about that before people go crazy thinking I'm talking about something else. All right, so the Jordan Golf, no comments on that.
Absolute
you trying to buy it or no?
No, because I don't believe in golfing in nice shoes. All right,
fam, you play golf in? Okay, never mind. You've said that on the show.
All these Nike golf shoes you can just wear in the winter if you want. Like I had those 97s. And all it was just like the silver bullets with some tread on it that you could wear. And
they're still online, aren't they? That's what I said. Okay. I said I was going to buy a pair of them.
You live in a place that has winter. We don't. Okay. So
it gets a little dusty there. That's about it.
Yeah, that's it.
Sock's favorite shoe, the Superstar. It has an entire pack coming out with like 57 different colors. I guess it's like a college pack or something, maybe. I don't know. Green, navy, scarlet.
Well, they're doing the whole celebration thing for
being a creator.
Superstar, that's what.
Yeah, it's something.
He always talking about Superstars, so that's his favorite shoe. Yeezy Boost 700 MNVN, whatever that means. The orange shoe with the like black bottom.
Oh, that 700, that's finally coming out?
I guess that's what it says.
It's Paris and LA only.
Okay.
And so that one should sell pretty high then?
It should, but it's orange, so...
You think that matters?
The black, like every black Yeezy sells well. Like the 350s, even those like utility 700s that were retail for a long time. These Vantas, that's probably the most like overlooked, underappreciated Yeezy. The V2 Vanta, that one sells for the high now.
You still have
like orange ones? I don't know.
Greg still hasn't said anything about these AZLs or AZLs or whatever since they came out. You not trying to buy them?
What are AZLs?
That's the one you like with the new model.
AZLs. Oh,
is that the one that looks like a milk jug?
Yeah.
Oh, I love them.
It looks like a Dookie sandwich.
I mean, I'm probably going to end up this year breaking my Yeezy band because I've had enough. Like, I just don't even care no more.
Are you buying those?
They're too much money now.
Man. Fear of God 1 questions. You said those are coming out?
Supposedly.
All right.
I mean, those are...
Last I heard, they were delayed to March, but...
Oh, okay. Well, you would know more than us. And who told you this? Where you been getting this stuff from?
People I know.
Mark Parker. Man, bruh, there are some people we know that if we actually bothered asking questions, we could get this information.
I know that. I know, but I want to know where.
I know people who like used to work for Nike and can get into the campus store that no one else, employee store that no one else can get into. You know what I mean? Like I can get the information I want, and I just don't care. Anyways, go ahead.
For that one, that BSTN place that had a raffle for them, and they said they were delayed till March. So,
in Germany.
It could be related to the whole situation with the contract with Jerry Lorenzo, or it's just delayed.
Wait. Question 2: is that Jerry Lorenzo thing real?
Just add it to the list, fam. Oh, you want to talk about it now?
I mean, why not? We just asked a question. Is that real? That contract situation with him and the Iverson calling it the Fear One questions?
I think that was probably like the end result, but my guess is that there was probably real issues if they were going to keep Jerry or not. Nike, that is, and he said as much in some interview on this Seam app. And then maybe at the end, because of that, Jerry just, was like, forget it. I'm going to do whatever I want with this shoe. And I'm going to post Iverson pictures on my IG. What's Nike going to do? Not renew my contract? Right? So, but that is my guess is what happened.
Okay. See, I didn't know if that was real or what.
LeBron 17 Toon Squad Low comes out, the official release, as opposed to the shock drop release. The bubble pack, a bunch of different Nike runners. The Air Max 90 is okay. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
It's okay. I mean, If someone gave it to me for free, I'd wear it once. Do a review on it.
I could picture you doing a sneaker review.
Yeah,
okay. Never happened.
Bro, you think I'd do a sneaker review? You drink that coffee all in one sip. Bubble Pack is a bunch of different shoes. I've cared less about any of them, but the 90s, okay. Blends is doing another Bone shoe. I don't know if you saw that. I don't even know if it's a Vans shoe. It's the name that's on here. It is a Vans shoe. Okay, but it's not.
Probably a Vans.
Ooh, them is fire.
No, they're not.
What?
No, they're not.
It's a black Vans with the bones and a V.
That doesn't mean you need to say fire. Like, what model is this? The Epoch LX?
It's fire to me.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Oh, it's not an old school?
No, it's not.
Something I read something online about they couldn't get the era authentic or old school to do.
I have no idea how to do this podcast anymore. I say something fire, you tell me I'm wrong. I say something trash, I'm telling I'm wrong. I have no idea what.
When was the last time I said you wrong? I just said
those are fire, and I seen those. I didn't know what to call. I already seen them. I thought they were fire. I said they're fire. You say no, they're not. No, you don't. Fam, what do? I said,
what do I do? That's the only one I said.
I said they suck, they trash, and then the internet tells me I have no idea what I'm talking about. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Well, you're doing something right because the internet's talking to you. February 29th, Nike SB Low. Travis Scott, you look on your face was like, what's coming out?
That's a long time from now. Or is that the weekend?
That's this week.
Oh, this week? Well, we got to talk about that too.
There is a February 29th this year.
There it is. Anything else important?
Yeah, there's a couple other things. You don't have are you just gonna wait for comments on Travis Scott?
I mean, look.
You want to wait?
I want to hear Sock about Travis Scott.
Pine Green Jordan 1 2.0.
Okay, all right. Okay,
which apparently are first come first serve at Foot Locker, which is wild to me.
Sock, do you wear Jordan 1s?
It's my favorite shoe. I love Jordan 1s, but I rarely wear them.
Okay, so are you copping these Pine Greens?
I'll probably skip this one.
Why?
To me, the shoe is unadulterated fire.
Why doesn't anybody like these? I don't understand this.
It might be because that Pine Green came out last year or 18 or whatever. That what I guess they're calling 1.0. It came out at the same time as the purple one that you got. You know,
that's right.
Got the purple shoe.
I forgot about that.
And even the Wings logo is all blacked out. It's not like
which I did think that was a little weird. Logo. But I kind of like it. It switches it up a bit.
I guess stuff like that doesn't matter to me. Like stuff like that doesn't even dawn on me. If it was a low, it would be Instacop for me.
Not even a question.
Instacop.
I have the last Pine Greens, and they're sitting here in the stack. And
of course you do.
Like if I haven't worn those, am I buying these and putting them on the stack and not wearing them? So
that's why fam, this entire shoe is tumbled leather. Like people should be going nuts for this shoe. This is what people always talk about when they talk about Jordan 1s. Give us good leather, tumble leather quality, whatever.
See, that's why color blocking matters. It's something with the blocking that does throw it off a little bit.
Nah.
But I think it's fire.
Nah, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
All
right. Let's see here. Turquoise, Air Max 90, even though it's already come out in Europe already. This is the U.S. release. Let's see here. They should cancel it. All right. A 4D is coming out. We know Gregory doesn't care. Gel Light 3 Kobe Beef. I don't know why you have a shoe called Kobe Beef, but hey, good for you.
It's not trash. It's just the color is weird.
Yeah, it's a little off. Man, why are so many shoes? Okay, it looks like that's about it. Why are so many shoes coming out this week? Because it's the end of February and there's, what's that day called? Leap Year Day?
Leap Year, so they threw some extra ones in there. All right. So for everybody who listens to the podcast before, we've had Sockjig on the podcast before. He talked about cut groups, monitors, and stuff like that. So real quick, I don't know if you want to should we talk about Travis Scott raffle first and then kind of get into monitors, cut groups, stuff like that? Because a lot of people want to know what that stuff is, and a lot of people want to know how they can get it.
You might as well start with Travis Scott because that's a topic of...
So let's talk about Travis Scott, the raffle, whatever. So how did that all break down or whatever information you might have, Sock?
So I heard that it might be dropping on Travis Scott's site on that Saturday. It was Saturday, right?
Yeah.
And so same thing. It basically came out that morning and everyone knew. And so then the real issue was, were they going to make it a raffle like they did for the Air Force One last time? Or is it going to be like a first come, first serve drop? And in people in my world, when a shoe like that is announced, it's going to be released that day, everyone's just going to waste their whole day on it, right? because there's no set time release, and it can drop at any moment. So that's what came out. And then I speculated on my Twitter that they probably won't make it a raffle. And I gave very logical reasons why, because last time was a disaster and they only had really sizes 10.5 and plus. I know Shopify, the program, the platform that the Travis Scott site is on, doesn't really have like a built-in raffle system. So I was like, I was speculating that if this is and the news had come out earlier that there won't be a sneakers release of this. So I was like, if this is a drop that's only going to drop on his site and only at skate shops, then it's very likely he's got a ton of stock on his site. Like I was thinking, just 10,000, let's just say a big number. And let's say there's 20,000 of these total. 10,000 go to skate shops and 10,000 on his site. And I was like, are they really going to be sending out that many invoices? Do they have a team that can write a script that takes winners from the emails,
right?
Selects winners, sends them invoice. Like that's a lot of work to do, right? And so that's why I said they probably won't do that. And then sure enough, it comes out that it's a raffle.
Why isn't it coming out on sneakers? Is it because of stock or what?
My guess is it's just a skate shoe, right? So there's been a couple of SB drops that haven't come out on sneakers, like that Halloween one. And so maybe this is just Travis Scott giving back, making a skate only release. That's my guess.
So do bots, monitors, any of that stuff have any effect on like a Travis Scott raffle thing whatsoever?
Somewhat, but it's really hard to say how good of a filtering system they had, because no one really knows. Like it would be Travis Scott's team themselves that custom wrote something. My guess is that they probably had a few thousand pairs, and that's why they just did the raffle. And I was saying this on my Twitter that first come first serve, like how they did for the Jordan 1 low, you have way better chance at that than you do a raffle. And I've been thinking about this week, and what are your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, no, my whole thing is so one thing that I noticed when where I get sixes from? I got sixes off sneakers. So when they did the Travis Scott 6 drop, that wasn't a raffle, right? I don't remember. On the Travis Scott
that one was dropped. Travis did drop on his site at 10 p.m. my time or 9 p.m. something my time, and his only size is 10.5.
Okay, so then one thing I was more concerned with was when you go into the raffle thing and it said that if you double entry they'll cancel it. I didn't believe it, so I just put in a bunch and now that was me thinking like, man, they're actually not gonna go through this and cancel it. Listening to what you're saying about script writing and their team and all that.
Yeah.
I didn't.
You could have entered on your phone on Wi-Fi mode and then taken off Wi-Fi, put on LTE, and your LTE is a different IP address, and then you could have put slightly different info in there. But that's one way to get 2 entries.
Oh, okay. See, I always just use like a different email address I have and variations of my name and stuff like that. So for people to do that, when they do raffles, they could just do 1 entry on Wi-Fi and do 1 entry on just their regular cell phone service.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't even know that. So did you get any pairs of Travis Scott's?
Of these dunks? No.
Oh, okay.
I just entered my 2. That's all I did was I did the regular one on Wi-Fi and then one without.
And when did emails actually get sent out? Because I saw some people got theirs out almost immediately. Then I seen some, not immediately, but within a few hours. And then I seen some say it in the morning they got them.
I don't think you could check out if you got it in the morning, but I'm not sure. I think they said, they closed it, and then it really was like how they said, within a half hour after closing it, people were getting it.
I don't know a single person who got an email, so that's why I was wondering, what in the shit is going on here?
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking about. I was like, for everyone in our world here on, say, Twitter or people who listen to this who are used to buying online, People who follow Soul Links and those kind of Twitter accounts. When the Jordan 1 low dropped, and say it sounded like because that was an exclusive for his site, and I think maybe sneakers only. I don't know. I can't remember now, but there was a lot of stock on that, and I know for a fact that there's very few bots that were able to get that Jordan 1 low. Like it was like 95% or higher chance that it was all just manual people. And so if you were following Soul Links and had notifications on and you got into that queue right away, you probably had a good shot. And you see in his responses of all the people for that low that said, got him, right?
All right.
And now for this one on Twitter, you're not finding anything, right? And so we live in this world where we're used to buying online and getting stuff and, having a good shot at it. I think what Travis was doing was trying to get to the other fans that he's got, like the people who show up to his concerts, who are on Instagram, who aren't on sneaker Twitter or anything, who have if they were trying to enter that thing for the Travis 1 low, if they entered 5 minutes later, if they say they got the email for it 5 minutes later and tried to enter, it would have been long gone by then. They have no shot. So for those people, they have always had zero shot of getting like a first come first serve release. But now with a raffle, if there's, at a show, if there's, say, 20,000 people, there might be 20 people who win a raffle there. So all of a sudden they went from like 0 to, 1 in 1,000 or whatever, right? And so that's what Travis, I think, is probably thinking, that the people at his show who are computer illiterate, who are, are just not as fast or on the uptake for this thing, now have a better shot at it. But what happens is the chances that all of us have that are good at buying stuff online has now dropped to their level, right?
Yeah.
So that's why when you look at Soul Links and you look at J23 and stuff, and there's no screenshots of anything because none of us got it.
So then I always see you. I think at one point I thought I saw you on Twitter having a conversation with somebody from Shopify. Or you saying that? Was that a while ago?
Yeah, there's a dev that was responding in a couple threads, but
so do they be mad or looking for help?
I don't think they're mad. I think they're probably pretty happy. They've done a pretty good job.
Oh, okay.
Especially since the last time I've been on the show. They introduced a lot of, when I was on the show, there was not that much anti-bot protection.
All right.
And I know they beefed that up a lot. And there was a while there where no one is really copying anything with a bot. And now a lot of the bots have kind of adjusted lately.
Okay, so let's talk about that real quick. So how does anti-bot protection work on sites? Because I'll tell you this, I still see people like they take L's, they lose on sneakers, foot sites, they lose on everything. And they're still on the internet, Twitter, IG, everywhere. The bots. I'm sick of the bots. They're still going nuts about the bots. And I'm somebody that just does not believe bots are doing any. I just don't believe as much in it as I do anymore. That because I've hit so many times manually on really good stuff that I'm not that worried about it or focused or whatever it is. So just real quick, what is bot protection? Like, how does it even work?
So it basically, I don't know exactly what they do, but somehow they detect that if you're a bot, and if they detect that you're a bot, they basically just deny your checkout. Like they block your checkout. You get what's called a 429 server error. And so, one of the CTO guy of Shopify had hinted a while back to act more human. So they have whatever detection that they have, and they're trying to stop all the bots to get from getting in the queue and letting the human people get through.
And what's this based off of?
I don't know.
Oh. So
it's like a dev thing. I wouldn't ask them how do you do it, and because I don't think they want to show their cards of how exactly they do it either.
Okay, so then on these, what's the best option? So sites that are using bot protection is just best manual, or is there still other ways around it that you're aware of, or these groups or whatever?
So recently they added this thing called checkpoint, where you have to solve a CAPTCHA to get into the queue. This was like this is a this is a big change for them, because before when Yeezy Supply was Shopify, right, the bots were just bombarding it with trying to check out, and they would all get in the queue. And so if you're a regular person, you'd be in the queue with them, and it's kind of like this exponential thing. The more people that are in the queue, the longer your kind of wait is. Right. Because I'm pretty sure the queue is like first in, first out. So as soon as you're in, the faster you're in, the faster you're out. So that is the number one thing for anyone listening. If you're waiting in a queue for way too long, that's probably because you were a little bit slower, 30 seconds slower, 45 seconds slower than someone else. So what happened was when they added this thing where you have to solve a CAPTCHA just to get into the queue, your crosswalks and your lights. Right. So that stopped all the bots from bombarding it, because those people sitting in front of a bot still have a pop-up comes up for them, and they still have to solve the CAPTCHAs. And they got rid of what's called one-click. Before, how sometimes you're on your site and you just click it and you don't have to do any lights or traffic circles or anything, right? Yeah. So they got rid of that. So you're forced to do it every single time. So what happened is the people who run a ton of slots on checkout or tasks on Shopify were now limited to how many CAPTCHAs they can solve, right? Okay. So a lot of them were, they would do that a year ago, where they would bombard it. The thing would do auto one click. They would get a checkout done. But now it's really, for them, it's a game of how many CAPTCHAs can you solve in 30, 40 seconds, because, something only takes a minute and a half to sell out, right? So what I've seen is a lot of these big time botters who are the types that run slots, for people who, charge for $40, you can get your Yeezy and just give me your info, that kind of stuff. Right. They don't focus on Shopify sites anymore, like Kith or Undefeated, because they can't mass do it anymore, right? Because they're limited by how many CAPTCHAs they can solve in 30, 40 seconds. And so I think that's what Shopify is probably happy about, because instead of having, thousands of people running thousands of tasks and they're all checking out, now each person's limited to 3, 4, right? Right. And so that's why I'm saying, so if only 3 and 4 bots are per bot, or only 3 or 4 are going through, then manual people are getting through too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine so.
So if you're on the monitor like George, okay, then you definitely have a shot.
Okay, so then monitor then.
Well, hold on a second. So the one click is a Google thing, though, right? That's not a Shopify. Okay, so they had to work with Google to do that, or is it something that you can, just a Google tool that you can program and unprogram for your own site?
Yeah, the technical explanation is there's any site can add CAPTCHA to kind of validate real people, right? That's a service Google offers, right? And every site has a site key, and so what happens is when something's about to drop, they change they change the site key to a brand new site key, and that forces that kills all the one clicks, and that forces the thing to make you solve traffic lights and crosswalks and stuff like that.
Oh, for the CAPTCHA. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, how valuable are bots today? Are they still worth? I get amazed when I go on Twitter and stuff, or IG, and I get followed by these pages that are they're bot pages, I guess. We'll cop for you, whatever those are called. Whatever. Are those still out here? Quote unquote cooking.
You talking about add to car service, or
I don't know. I'm so far removed. The only thing right now that I ever know about and slightly pay attention to is monitor. So the actual thing of hey, I would like you to try to help me get this Yeezy 350 or whatever. Are those still out there doing like good, like copping, like adding a car, whatever the case may be?
So yeah, those are services, and like I said, the slot providers, they sell you a slot. Like I will try to check out for you if you give me your info for your size on this site, right?
Right.
And before they would do that on Shopify and stuff, but they probably ignore it now because like one they said there's anti-bot protection on Shopify, and two, there's not enough stock, right? Like if you're doing slots for these Yeezy Earth for someone, and you're charging $30, $40 each, you can put that all on your Foot Locker bot.
Right.
And Foot Locker doesn't have the same kind of level of protection, and you'll get lots of success that way, right? So there's definitely those services that do that, and all those services do is they're just scaled at a higher level. They just have the top the 2 or 3 or 4 bots, and they got a whole whack of them.
Okay, so what's a monitor then? For those who don't know.
Okay, so a monitor is basically, there's these Chrome plugins that you can do that kind of checks for page changes, right? And that's all the monitor does. There's either in Slack or Discord, you can set it up where a program within there monitors certain pages. So for Shopify, it's a little bit easier because they have, say, an XML or an API endpoint, something that they can monitor for changes. And so, if livestock all of a sudden dropped Yeezy Earth, it would ping, and you can in Slack say, turn on notifications for anything for this channel that monitors livestock. And so, so that's how those work. And so they just do that for different types of site. You can do it for Nike, you can do it for Shopify, and you can do it for a lot of these like European sites. You got to kind of custom write stuff for a lot of those ones.
But it's not for just, because when George will send me something or whenever I've gone in there and looked in there, whatever, it also notifies you when they've just loaded the stock to their website, not necessarily made it public for everyone, right?
That's right, yeah.
Okay. And because, I mean, hey, the stuff that George has sent me that I've copped. Like, I haven't set my notifications. I keep telling George to set mine up, but he refuses to do it. So he just, instead of helping me out and set mine up,
yes,
he just sends me the link to what I need to cop, and that's it. Now, that whole entire process. So one of the people that you had tweeted out, anybody who wants to know like anything or any questions or whatever, somebody asked, how do you get into one or whatever? Because a lot of people do ask us, like, how do we get into one? Like, how do you, how does George get into it? How does George know this, whatever? And I said, the homie hooked him up, So can anybody just get in one, or is it like a invite only thing, or can you pay to be in one or what?
Yeah, no, there's definitely an economy. There's a bot economy. There's a monitor cook group economy where there's groups that sell this stuff, but they do the same thing. They have it where it's like sold out and it only restocks every once in a while. And you got to follow their Twitter and kind of check for when there's going to be a restock. And there's differences. There's monitors where all they do, like what George has, they don't tell you anything. It's just like, here's what's loaded, and you research and you buy whatever you feel is worth on this one. They sometimes, the admins on those ones will set up keywords like Earth or, new tail light or something like that. And then there's a special channel where like current releases, you could get alerts for those ones. So that's what a monitor is. And there's a bunch, there's lots of good ones. Some are, $20, $30. Some are $50, $60.
One time or
and so then, no, per month. And so that's what it comes down to is if you want a monitor, the real question is, do you want to resell or do you not? Right?
Right.
Because if you're paying $60 per month for a monitor, that's only really worth it if you're making money and can pay it off, right? And there's versions of monitors that are called like cook groups. Cook groups are basically the same thing. It has a monitor, but it also has staff or an admin saying, "Hey, buy this and it could be a brick shoe that flips for a bit. Right? Bricks are what's called just something low volume, like your Air Force One white. Say there's a site that had them on sale for $70 and they're reselling on Goat for $120, and everyone who buys them can make $20, right?
Right.
So so that's what a cook group will kind of do. They will tell you what flips and shares. So even that, it's like if you want access to that, the question is, do you want to resell or not? And there's a group called Soul Savvy that is like the answer to, I think, what a lot of people you guys are looking for. It's more for regular people who are not resellers, and they have their own. They got info. I think they're like funded and stuff too. It's not just like some dude behind a computer.
Funded by who?
I don't know. They seem like more professional than some of these other groups. So, okay. And it's a good idea. It's because like there's more people who are like don't want to become full-time resellers. They just want access, and can't afford say the $20-$30 a month.
This like monitor isn't considered illegal.
No, I don't think so. A lot of these for Shopify, I know like those endpoints that they're monitoring. Like those are made so Facebook integration, like a store can do a Facebook integration, and sometimes you can check on a site, you can check like you can see like the Nike API if you wanted to look in the how everything is set up behind the scenes, but it's definitely not illegal. No.
It just always seemed a little weird to be able to. I mean, it felt like it was hacking into somebody's site to know. I mean, to be able to buy something that only a specific amount of people can see, check out, and everything. Anytime George has ever seen, I've only ever had 2 things that canceled or didn't let me pay, but other people had success with it. Kobe Chaos 5s. I got canceled on it after I paid for it and everything. They just canceled it, didn't send it to me. But other people got them through the same store. And then I think it's Bodega. One of them, you can't even pay. I don't remember what it was, but they just...
There's a bunch of them that show stock, but it doesn't have a shipping option. And I think Extra Butter is one of them.
Extra Butter, that's what it was. And those I always have a hard time with. But overall, I mean, like I said, I always just felt like it was like some type of sneaky hacking into like somebody's stuff that you're not supposed to. So Kith comes on the monitor too as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Should I have something I was going to ask? I forgot. I don't remember.
And so I can give a little state of what's currently going on. I talked about Shopify, how they added this thing called checkpoint where you have to solve CAPTCHA before you get in the queue, and that stopped a lot of that's made manual a bit easier.
Right.
There's definitely the bots that have kind of figured it out a bit, but even then they're limited to say 2 or 3 per person running a bot, and so not like before where one bot person could check out 50, 60. For sneakers, for manual, it's probably the best time for sneakers because Nike's been doing a lot of filtering lately. For example, I can't get anything on sneakers because I think they've filtered all Canadian IP addresses. And I know some of the more popular sneakers bots like Ghost hasn't had that much success lately either. Okay. So if you see, for example, on the Off-White 5, there were a lot of people that hit it, right? Even the Travis Scott 6 that I think you hit.
Yeah.
There was not many people, because before people would do the same thing, they would just kind of mass enter with their thousands of accounts. And it would tell you entered 1,000 accounts and you won 200 of them, right?
That's crazy. And there are people out there still winning amounts like that.
There's a bot called TSB, which stands for the shit bot, okay. And that's its real name. And lately, I know it's had success, especially on international Nike, like on Nike EU and
right.
Singapore and stuff like that. I think it's worked on the US site as well, but I'm not sure. But so there's definitely there's still a cat and mouse game where some have figured it out and some haven't. But overall, Nike's been doing a really good job on stopping a lot of them. And, for the listeners, now's the best time to, have your cousin make an account for you, have them enter the draw, and you might actually win it.
Because those accounts are being filtered out, you're saying? Yeah,
because if you create a lot of these ones, they're mass generated accounts. And like I said last time, they're looking for account activity. And even some of these mass generated accounts, they try to do the thing where they generate activity for you. They like stuff and they share, they click the share link and stuff like that.
Right.
But even that, it seems like Nike's done a pretty good job of figuring out how to filter all those ones too. So the more human-like you can make how you interact with your sneakers account, you'll probably have more success. Like, if you vote on the stuff that they're doing, if you go through their galleries and stuff like that.
Man, I voted on that and still didn't get elephants or what you call it. What's the other one? Witherspoons? I didn't get Witherspoons either.
Well, see, the thing is, what do you mean? You can think it with this one.
Not from sneakers.
Oh.
From Lapstone.
A lot of people that interact with the app is because of you saying that last time you were on our podcast about shit.
I take full credit for everyone getting on these.
And, I interact whenever I feel like it. I just don't want nobody to know anything I got. So I don't ever really interacting with it.
You don't want anyone breaking your house.
I'm a private person. So
right, you're on a
you don't want your wife to know
syndicated radio show.
Yo, Sockjig loves talking about my situation with my wife and sneakers and stuff, bro. He gonna get me in trouble. Though.
You shouldn't have brought it up ever.
I'm not even joking, though. You become the reason why something happens. I'll be on the first thing that
how I solved that problem was just shock and awe campaign. I just kept buying. The stack got bigger. Sometimes I'd leave the car or the shoes in the trunk.
Oh, he does. He exclusively does that.
Yeah, and then when my wife was in the shower or something, I would grab it out of the trunk and just put it on the stack, and she's not going to notice it.
Yeah, I would do
one or two bigger.
I've done it all. There's nothing I haven't
you're
done.
A devious person. We know.
Now, do I do it anymore? No. I love my wife. I love my marriage too much. I love all that. And it wasn't. And that was the thing too. A lot of people don't understand. It wasn't the buying of sneakers and the money and stuff. It was just the lying I was doing.
It was the money too.
Nah.
It was.
I mean, that's part of it, but majority of it.
If you had been lying and it was $300, I think you'd be okay.
No, majority of it was the lying, though, because the lying I did wasn't like your typical lying, like, come on, I've been had those, or like, stop it, like, you've seen those before. It wasn't that lying. It was lying when she asked me, was I doing it, and I made her feel like a crazy person.
But if it would have been like $300, you would have been.
I made her feel like. I was like, I can't believe you would ask me this. I promised you I would.
Don't spend $600,000 in sneakers, huh?
Fam, relax.
When you told that story about how you made her feel bad, I was like, oh, that was a huge mistake.
Yeah, that was the worst one ever, bro. Like, the house was cold, B. It was like winter had came.
You're a bad person, huh? It was during the season of that show too. It was perfect.
Well, it was funny because Golden Throne, Game of Thrones. Well, it was funny because we were in Seattle this weekend talking. We're just kind of reflecting. It was our 10-year anniversary. We've been together 18 years, married 10. And it was just like going through everything. And
matter of fact, we got to go back on that too.
It doesn't even matter. Whenever me and my wife talk about something, that comes up every single time. And we're like, we've had ups and downs here and there, nothing but, and I'm like, marriage isn't as hard as a lot of people made it. And she's like, yeah, 2019, and we had a big one. I was like, yo, I got to bring that up.
You're married to a woman. What do you expect?
Yes, bro. My wife almost left, though. All right. That was my second or third time lying about that. All right. So it wasn't the first time I had did it. All right. Bruh, I would have been living with you. I'm not joking.
You might have been. You almost were anyways.
Fam, if anything, I've already told you this. If anything ever happened to me and my wife, I'm coming to you. I'm not going to family. I'm not going to nobody. Because if we get back together, I don't need them to know this. I'm just coming to your house. I'm going out in the back room, and that's it. You'll never know I'm there.
Yeah, so you close the door.
George, what you got to do is you got to start accepting bids on StockX for pairs, Gregory has, and then just send him the labels. Like, here, you got to ship these.
That's the problem. He don't even tell me what he gets.
Yo,
he announced stuff on the show, and it's a secret to me.
Sometimes I'll tell you, and you be like, "No, you didn't." I'm like, "Well, guess that's that."
maybe like 5 years ago or 3 years ago you did that and I didn't believe you, and so that's why you stopped. But it's been a long time.
I'd be like, oh yeah, I got one of those. You'd be like, no, you didn't. I'm like, all right. I went back to check to see if I ever had.
Because some of that stuff was impossible.
I couldn't figure it out.
No, you didn't have them.
I mean, I didn't even know I still had a DS pair of Laney Highs. So I mean, I got rid of that today. So
yeah, that's complete foolishness. What do they sell for now? 500?
$238. So it wasn't.
It's 9.5.
Yeah, it wasn't as high.
I thought you were gonna say it was a 10. I was say it was a 10. It makes sense.
No, I wore the 10. Like I had a 10 that I wore. So
9.5 is that's the cutoff for high prices.
Yeah, it was like $239, something like that. And the way.
Dang, Gregory's a bid acceptor. Sock, get him.
The 85. What's wrong with that? Do you got problems with StockX? Because you be talking a lot of junk about StockX, but you be buying on StockX too.
No, all the junk I talk about them is just like stuff they should have done, like the security stuff that they're not open and forthright about, and the two-factor stuff that is relatively easy to code. They waited 8 months to do.
Low key,
they deserve all that.
Listen, oh yeah, they all that shit was terrible. But any business that is doing stuff like that deserves to get flamed. There's no doubt about that.
They do, and that was my whole thing with them. And this is, I'm not bashing on StockX, nothing like that. But that was my whole thing. Like I expect companies that are taking in this much money and have this much accounts and stuff like that to get hacked. Target, all of them. We get emails from Target once a year. Yo, sorry, stuff is happens all the time. So I wasn't like mad about that. My thing is like, I like hey everybody, our system we're apologized for. You know what? We probably should have just own up to it and we move on, because it isn't like any of us are gonna like get rid of our accounts or stuff. I see people like, yo, I canceled my stock. No, you didn't. Like, stop it. No one canceled their StockX account. No one stopped copping. No one stopped selling. So stop it. It's just one of those things. Like, be humble. Like, you know what? We was trash for that. My bad. Move on. Yeah. Because sneakerheads act like they're the most complex people and the most emotional people on earth.
I'm glad you said that, because there's not even low key. This is like high key. People that are in the realm of what Sock is talking about with cook groups, monitors, and they think they're the most entitled people I've ever met in my entire life. They think they're huge. Owed 20 pairs of each shoe if a store. Now I'm gonna bring up something that you had said.
The wrong word.
No, it's not. It's the right word. Trust me. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No,
it's just like us.
No, it's not.
No.
Yes, it is.
Look at this,
listen to him. No, it's not.
Travis Scott. Look at this Travis Scott skate shop. The skate shops are like going nuts right now, having to deal with sneakerheads. You see all these guys sharing. They're like, don't call us, don't message us. Just here's our Instagram post about it. And it's probably a tough time for a lot of them.
So hold on a second. Let me go back to what I was saying. Yeah. So before Greg says anything, because I know he wants to say something, somebody had commented on a tweet and you put like, we just want to give them our money and they want us to jump through hoops. So what you're not understanding is you just want to buy one pair. The people that person was talking about, or like in my tweet that I did the other day about the Nike whatever with the Homer Simpson, that's people who think they're entitled. Yeah, that's people who think they're entitled to get. They're resellers. Like, you click on someone's profile and it says, I'm an admin for cookgroup.com. I'm an admin for this. I don't care about those people, because all those people want to do is get 10, 20 pairs and resell them. The fact that those people think they're entitled to those pairs and complaining that a skate shop like the original tweet was, this skate shop says we're going to offer them to our team riders and our loyal customers. We've had that conversation on this show back when it first started.
We have no problem.
No, but that's what it was. So when you read it, it wasn't that they wanted someone to jump through hoops. It was that a lot of these skate shops are saying that, and everyone's complaining about backdooring. Fam.
Even if you're not a reseller, like you're just a collector and you want these, right? And you're looking at the releases of like how skate shops are releasing them, and it's a little complicated. You might have to buy something in the store. Some are doing probably a little bit too much with. If they're doing, I haven't seen anything do a kickflip. There's one where you had to sing a Travis bar, but that might have been a joke or something. But really, the question is, if you have a problem with how these skate shops are doing it, is like, have you been like going to skate shops? Have you supported these skate shops? Have you bought a T-shirt from these skate shops? Have you bought a deck from these skate shops?
Hold on. So
right? So if skate shops are looking out for the people that looked out for them, right? Like the team riders, the customers who go in there and shoot the shit, buy the t-shirt with the company's, logo on it.
You know what? Hold on real quick.
No. And so let me. And you'll see the skate shops. They'll probably look out for some of those people, and they might not have enough stock to look out for a lot of them. And so when you bring in a random sneakerhead who just got his, Off-White 5 high, and he wants now the Travis Scott, he's never been in there. Does he deserve that pair from that shop? Right? No.
Okay.
If they have a raffle, you can enter it, and you might win, you might not. Right?
Okay. What you're saying, we've talked about many times, and I agree with. The problem is with this particular type of sneaker, a Travis Scott SB, the people that you're talking about, these team riders, I mean, some of them do, but like the people that come to the store just to kick it all day and kick flips outside and be dusty, them cats, they don't care. They're not caring about a Travis Scott SB. So it's like,
they probably do more than people.
No, they don't. Now,
never into SBs at all, right?
Now, if this is a Costin SB special something, okay, I get that. This is a rapper skater shoe who doesn't skate like.
So your problem is not with skate shops, then. Your problem is the fact that it didn't go to sneakers in other stores.
Basically, you know what? It shouldn't have been.
Yeah, so that's not a skate shop.
And now with skate shops being angry, like, yo, don't DM us, don't do this, don't do that. I feel like
Undefeated has them. I think like Livestock will probably get them. There's definitely non-skate shop stores that are getting them, the tier 0 places, but just not probably all of them.
And that whole stuff, like, I used to be very big on that, and that's a classic way of like, being good with everybody, hang out at the shop all the time. 95%, I would say 85. 85% of these sneaker shops nowadays, no matter what it is, none of them are inviting enough for you to want to come kick out, hang out, shoot the shot. Like, none of them are. Like, I
think that's the whole point of this SB, Travis SB, is to, and Nike's done a good job of kind of revitalizing SB and trying to get people into skate shops by making a skate shop only shoe. If you go into these skate shops, a lot of these guys are pretty cool. They
are.
Some of them are older.
Yeah.
You can't always get to know employees because they might, change every 8 months or so. But usually there's usually like one owner who's super cool, who's seen it all. You can go in there. I made some jokes about, you should wear your Thrasher hoodie and maybe he'll give you a pair. But those are just jokes. But but really, like if you go in, I don't know if they'll like put you on a list or anything, but if you support the store, they'll definitely
supporting the skate shop as a sneakerhead is not something you can really do as a sneaker. Like, okay, all SBs then, every single SB period, it should go back to how it was. Should only be sold at skate shops. They shouldn't be on sneakers. They shouldn't be on Undefeated. Wherever they might sell this stuff now.
They're trying to do both, right? They're trying to do both. A little bit of that. Like the Shadow Jordan Pack one was kind of a GR. It's hard to get, but you could get it, and it's relatively cheap on resale if you want it now. That Halloween one was pretty hard to get, and it was only skate shops. And this Travis one is probably going to be like the highest stock SB ever released, right? Like I said earlier, it might be 20,000. Usually SBs are like under 10,000.
The price on it is ridiculously high. The special box price one is ridiculously high.
Same price.
I saw
same price.
If I had the special box, the special box is going for like
3,000.
3,000, yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about resale price?
Yeah,
I think you're talking about box
resale.
price.
No, resale.
Oh, I thought you were talking about retail price.
No.
I was going to say the retail price is $150 on Travis Scott website and skate shop.
Resale $3,000.
Oh yeah,
now,
of course.
Going back to you saying about the entitled guy. In that situation, I get what you're saying. But I look at people. So I watched this video today.
You didn't even let me finish what I was saying.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't. I didn't finish what I was saying.
I didn't even say nothing. Sock started talking. Look, just real quick. Entitled Cook Group people, I look at them as just like regular sneakerhead people. Every single one of us just wants to win. Like, if you're a Cook person, monitor person, you feel like I'm supposed to win 100. I'm that guy. You're a regular sneakerhead. Yo, what the heck? I take all the L's. I need it. I'm supposed to at Nike, at Undefeated. Yo, what's up, man? I never win. Yada, 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 yada. So I look at them. I saw a video today.
They're not the same.
I saw
you
a video
want one
today.
pair, someone else wants 20 pairs.
It's just a different victory. It's different victories for different people. It's not the same because of what they're trying to do with it, but it's winning. It's a different victory. Yeah. Like
everyone wants at least one. Like in this world we call it you want to touch. Did you touch the item? Right? Everyone wants to touch it.
A one pair of Travis SB Dunks to a regular sneakerhead.
Pause.
It feels like when a Cook man wins 50. Like, it's of equal because it's just different worlds. That's how soccer is somewhat different worlds.
No, it's not, different because world. You're gonna wear it. You're not talking about someone who's gonna wear it.
Debatable. Just because I win one doesn't mean I'm wearing it. Like, with us,
you wanted these to keep.
My suggestion to everyone is if there is no sneakers release, is to just pretend the shoe doesn't exist because it's not for you.
That's what I do
now.
For
the skate shops. If you go to the skate shops and you looked out for them, maybe they'll look out for you. If you didn't, then the shoe is not really for you. You could always pay resale. It sucks that there might not be a super fair way to get it, but that's how it is. Like. Just like those Dior ones. Everyone wants these Dior ones. It's like you got no chance of getting those, right? Like, and that goes to the highest of the high VIP, and there's whatever, only 2,000 or so made. Just pretend that shoe doesn't exist and just kind of move on to the next one.
Once it drops,
so hold on a second. Let me go back to what I was talking about. So the comment that I responded to was adding Nike and adding Nike SB. No, fam, relax. It was adding Nike and adding Nike SB saying, when are you going to why are we still sending shoes to skate shops? When are you going to take skate shop contracts away? It's a skate shoe. What are you talking about? So that's what I'm talking about when I say the people are entitled. And then you look at that person's profile and it says admin bot monitor or bot runner or whatever it says. So that's what I'm saying is, we all agree that doing a kickflip or doing whatever for these shoes is unreasonable. But a skate shop saying we're going to give them to our team riders or we're going to give them to our loyal customers is not the same thing as we're making you do a impromptu rap or we're making you do a kickflip or we're making you leave the... So that's my point. You don't let me finish. It's not the same thing as making someone leave the shop without the box and they can only take the shoes, or we're going to autograph the bottom with Kobe's signature and you only get the shoe with Kobe's signature on it or whatever. So it's not the same thing. So that's my point. I'm totally fine with whatever release procedure these stores have. They obviously don't get many products that are like this Travis Scott thing. They're in business just like every other shoe store is in business. And what he was talking about, when Stock was talking about earlier, is what we've been talking about on Twitter. The loyal customers are keeping these small doors open, not the person who runs a
of course.
Shoe monitor. These shops are resilient, right? Like if they lost their Nike account, they would keep going on. A lot of stores, if they lost their Nike account, they're shut down the next day, like we've already saw last year, and we'll probably see this year.
Yeah, like the only argument that I would make is the stores should make like their loyalty program known and transparent. Like, you have this many points. If you spend this much money, you get this many points. So if they did that, it would make more sense.
A lot of them are saying, the shoes are off-site, and if you read into that, it's because there's been break-ins.
Oh right? Yeah, of course. And I've seen that.
Or a lot of skate shops. Imagine if you own a skate shop and some guy comes in and it's basically like, if I don't get this mini back door, me and my buddy here are going to tear this place apart. Right? Like, this is the kind of shit these guys would have to deal with. Right? And so for them, I know, they got this thing. They got to release it. They're going to release it. It's easier for them maybe to give it to their riders and the best customers than to deal with guys who are trying to shake them down, right?
So then with stuff like this, do you see, or is it even possible for resale to die?
No, I don't think it's going to die.
Okay.
Look at this shoe. This shoe came out of nowhere, and it's $3,000 instantly, right? The big changes in the last while is, there's a ton of Yeezys now. This Earth one, you could probably make $20 on. Before, you could make $120 on any Yeezy you got. You're seeing it a bit in Jordan 1 too. Red toes and a lot of the shattered backboards. Some of those are super high, but the ones that came out last week, the North Carolina, the Chicago, and even these green ones, there's a bit more of them. And there's different ways to like make money in resale. You can be bulk. You can be a casual flipper like George is, right? Like, I'm just grabbing this and flipping it, and I'm not holding it. And there's people who are just like, they'll buy and they'll hold because they'll know that in 6 months the price will be way higher, right? So when you say when there's always going to be resale in terms of that kind of stuff. China and Hong Kong has a lot to do with prices. Right. You see it in the sizes that go. So if anything changes in their economy, of course, prices can change and resale could change. But, that gets into bigger economics and stuff like that I'm not an expert in. But I don't think it's going to go anywhere. It hasn't gone anywhere in a long ass time, right?
No. I mean, I personally don't see it going anywhere at all. I mean, sneakers still bring up a lot of feelings with sneakerheads, individuals, period. I mean, it makes people feel cooler, make them feel better, make them feel accepted. It makes them feel like winners. I mean,
well, there's a thing now where like if you miss a release, it's hard to skip one, right? There's so many people who are like, I have every other Jordan one. Maybe I should just get this green one too, right?
Right.
So, brands aren't stupid.
That's what I said. I've been trying to like kind of sit out a couple releases, but then sometimes I might be sitting here and the monitor might hit and I might add to cart and check out, and then I'm like, why did I do that, right?
I don't even think it's possible to like. It's so impossible. It feels at times so impossible to skip a release that I feel like a lot of sneakerheads should really consider having a dual personality or persona of a flipper and a keeper. Like, because if you're able, like these pine greens, like you said, like the ones that came out last week, what are they? The Chicago to UNC, whatever, the women's one leather. Them joints are nice. I've seen them in person on feet in Seattle a grip of times. I was like, man, these joints are nice. If I would have copped those, then the pine greens would have been out of the question for me. I just couldn't see myself buying 2 leather Jordan 1s 2 weeks in a row. Now, if I had the mindset of like, okay, cool, I got to pick one or the other and I got to flip one, I think it'd be a lot more beneficial to like sneakerheads and help themselves with the releases. But there are a lot of people on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, where they've become, and I've talked about this a long time ago, where they're known and have become a sneaker person and they feel like they have to. They have no choice.
It's too tied to their personality.
Yeah, it's too tied. It's like, wait a minute, fam, you didn't get them? You get everything. People love that.
If you didn't touch the item, it's like you failed.
Right. And I'm not going to lie to you. I was that person long time ago. Like, and it's probably why it's got me trouble in the past, is because like I have this incredible urge to win. Even if I buy something not my size to sell to sell it, I'm still holding it for a little while longer, debating on what I should do with it. And it's because it's like, gosh, I really like, it's like Travis Scott 6s. I just don't want to get rid of those whatsoever. But I'm not going to be wearing a 6 like that. Like I'm not. But it's too hard to get rid of something like that, especially having discussions with you and talking about stuff like this. It's so hard to get it. How could you let it go? Like,
yeah, you have a memory associated with it. You like imagine you stayed up all night and then finally won the raffle or whatever.
And it's not necessarily as if the memory has that much value. It's like when I had 2 band 1s. We talked about this the other week. I had 2 bands 1 that had the X's on the back. I sold both of those to this guy. 2 pairs, $700 each, $1,400 at the time. I sold those 2 pair of band 1s. I never hit on another band 1 ever again. I could never. If it wasn't for Don physically getting one for me and giving it to me to buy from him, I still wouldn't have one. So like, it's like things like that. It's like, dang, man. In hindsight, I'm like, whew, they're probably worth like $2,000 now or $1,500 now. But it's like, dang, I should have just kept those. Like, I should have kept one. But you just get so caught up in the moment of whatever or even the next release. Like right now with Travis Scott, I wore Sakkai's all weekend. I am in love with Sackai sneakers. I want these Travis Scott. Somebody offered me a Travis Sackai my size, trade, just like that. It'd be just that quick. But I have to. I don't know. It's a complicated thing. I tweeted
that people ruined their day for the Travis Scott 6 that day when it released on his site. Like, because it was the same thing.
Right.
The rumors are out that it's going to drop, and then people are monitoring and sitting by the computer.
Right.
And then at the end it was like size 10.5 plus, and then I was able to get a pair. But then now no one gives a shit about that shoe. I said
I have no idea why.
Right? Like who?
No one
talks about it. When do you see it on Instagram? Even the hype Instagram people don't even wear it, right?
No, they don't.
The same with this shoe. This shoe is the Travis Dunk. It's nice, but it's not like a 10 out of 10. It's not a Union. It's not a knockout, right? To me, right?
George thinks it's the worst ever. I think the shoe...
No, it's not the worst ever. It just sucks.
I think the shoe has all the elements that everyone's been looking for so many years. Multiple materials, different patterns. It has a high-profile influencer behind it. It has everything everyone wants, but for some odd reason... And you know what? I don't even believe it anymore, because before they came out, George wasn't the only one that thought they sucked. There was Twitter, Instagram, everybody suck trash. Now $3,000, $1,000, $1,500. So it's like, you know what? I don't believe anybody anymore. I don't believe any of you guys.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, the people that are paying that aren't people we know. No one we know is paying that. These are rich people, celebrities, whatever else. People on Instagram, money. Yeah,
I couldn't imagine paying $1,000 for a dunk, and it's not at the very least a what the dunk or a pigeon. At the very least, I don't even like pigeons like that.
Well, you can't get
we look at bids,
you know what
I mean. The yellow lobster. There's like bids for $18,000 on there. So some of these SB collectors are nuts, and this special box that came out, they'll probably go nuts for that one. If you won that raffle and you have a pair on the way, I would probably keep it, sell it for no less than $5,000.
What was the other thing you asked George about? Should celebrities be able to sell it on their site?
Yeah, I was gonna bring it up later, but if we are done with that conversation, I just was gonna say, like, just looking on resale sites right now, I mean, SBs that are what's the best way to say it? Like the Quick Strike SBs, because forever, I don't know if, especially the newer people, new sneakerheads that only know the new SBs. The way SBs worked forever, there was a brick and mortar SB that was kind of like a little bit more limited. There was another one that was like a true GR, and then there was a Quick Strike SB. So the Quick Strike SB years back, those were the only ones that people really waited in line for. That would be your Collab, your Cheech and Chong, your what's the other one with that was Cheech and Chong? Skunk. Your Spot, Tampa,
right.
Your cigars, stuff like that. So that's what, what's this one I'm looking at? The Strange Love. That's what the Strange Love shoe is, because for years and years and years, all those shoes had like all the concept ones, all the lobsters. They all had their special packaging, and then there was a regular one too. The fact that GRSBs now people are fighting over, and maybe Nike's making a few more pairs now because some of the ones that have released recently, the prices have gone down on a little bit. But it's absolutely insane that people are willing to pay $500 for a Strange Love SB in a regular box. None of those. What's that?
It's a really nice shoe. That's why.
Stop it.
Yeah, but there are better ones that released.
That shoe is for a woman, a baby girl,
10 years ago that are better than that. The price isn't touching it.
That shoe is tacky. It is.
It's velour.
It's velour. It's velvet. Whatever it is. It's pink, red. It's the most clashy, tacky shoe ever. It is awful. It should only be worn by toddler girls.
What is the Halloween shoe selling for now?
The Halloween shoe is tacky as well, but it has been
I don't think it's much. It's probably like $300.
The Halloween shoe is tacky as well. The Halloween SB. The best part about the Halloween shoe.
It's not bad in a size 12.
The best thing about the Halloween shoe, which is what I said when it first came out, was the fact that we hadn't seen a themed SB in a very long time.
No, they were. It just no one cared.
No, I mean like really themed. Like
there was dog walkers before that.
Yeah, but you look at that, you can't. This one was a Halloween sneaker, skeletons, whatever was on it. Like it was Halloween, a pumpkin, whatever the hell it was. Yeah. Spider webs, all that stuff. I didn't see nothing in that type of. Yes, there's been like stuff like
Nike was doing it. They just weren't doing it as much as they were in the heyday of SB. But now SB's, I'm saying, they're back, and I'm glad they're back because I have a bunch of ones I need to sell, and I'm glad I didn't sell them in that interim.
You just shouldn't. You know what?
Okay, number one.
Let's go back. Let's go back to what I said earlier.
Number one, they're all too small. You know what I tried to put on at the house? I tried to put Crown Royals on. I tried to put Theotis Beasley on. They're all 11 and a half. They're not big enough. So that picture I sent you of roller derbies.
Just cut the tongue.
Yeah.
Do some foot exercises.
Just cut that tongue.
Roller derbies. When I put those on, I plan to wear that. The next day, though, Shrimps is the only other one that I could find because I only looked through like 5. The only other one was size 12. All those other shoes are unwearable for me now. With that padded tongue, as much padding as there is in an SB, and as uncomfortable as that shoe is, it's way less comfortable than a regular Dunk or a Jordan 1 Low.
Now, with that shoe, with the shoe that you're describing, we're talking about some...
Matter of fact, the roller derby is better than all this shit that's released. The roller derby shits on Travis Scott's to high heaven.
Oh, yeah. Roller derbies, me as a top 3, top 2 dunk of all time. Now, with what you're saying about your sneakers, this goes back to what I was saying about winning sneakers and stuff. All those dunks and stuff you have, I was telling Los when I was on his podcast, shout out to Los, the Bread and Butter Show. We were talking about that, and I said I liked SBs, but I had particular ones I liked. I didn't get into SBs and really pay more attention to them until me and you started kicking it, buying sneakers more often. I think it's important for you personally as a sneakerhead to keep all those SBs now because of them. Like, you have SBs and
they're
sneakers.
Not getting worn. They're just aren't.
Not
the only
getting
reason
worn.
I wore that was to make a point.
Yes. Okay. No.
Especially if they're 11 and a half.
No. We're talking about classic SBs here. We're not just talking about like, I got Jordan 4. They'll come out with another one. You don't know.
Yeah, they won't release again.
So it's like, and it's the reason why.
I wish I had Pac-Mans, Miss Pac-Man lows. That was what I was going to wear.
It's like Corgi shoes and all these people that keep a lot of this stuff. It's like, dang, you really kept that? Like, man, how do you?
But it's like, he did that with different. I know that
he had a different intention on that. Yeah. But you know what? I feel like as a sneakerhead, we have plenty of stuff in our closet we don't wear. Tons of stuff we don't wear. I think it's best for
NMDs.
us. Everything.
I wore NMDs last weekend.
That's the thing. There's a lot of sneakers that we don't wear. We might as well. We might as well keep the classics we don't wear. Like, what's wrong? I want to buy the North Carolina 3s and I want to buy the red 3s. I am going to buy. I don't care what the Beat very near DS pair of OG 3 cements. So I feel comfortable to have those. I have zero plans to wear any of those Jordan 3s because I don't wear Jordan 3s. But I don't have a black cement 3. You know I hate my Jordan 4, black and red Jordan 4s, Breads, whatever they call it, the Jordan 4s. I hate the way they feel. Something's wrong with the shoe. But I will never get rid of it because I never had one before, ever, since buying sneakers. So to me, you should just keep all your ducks. Just keep them. There's no reason for you to sell them because you know what? You'll never get them back. Like, you literally...
I don't care about any of that stuff.
You should, though, because that was the work you put in back then to keep those.
Certain ones like... you
got to keep them all.
No.
Your collection of SBs is really good.
Well, it's not as... I've sold a lot of stuff,
yes,
so it's not anywhere as good as it used to be. But
still, I mean, you got gold boxes, you got pink... You got all this stuff that people...
Most of those are gone.
Okay, you know what I mean. You should keep them all. I'm not going to sell any of my dunks.
Fight Club.
What's that?
Drop them off at Flight Club. They'll take used SBs. They'll sell.
I mean, you can put them on Go. I mean, most of them are used, right?
Yeah, just taking pictures and whatever else is hassle. That's why they were.
So you know what it's like? Yet. Keep them. The value of them and the work you put into getting them is more valuable.
There are certain ones I might keep, but nah. Number one, I'm not keeping it 11.5. Why would I keep it 11.5?
It's not about whether you can wear it or not. I'm gonna buy some.
It is, because if it's sitting there and I can get $200, I'm gonna get $200.
And then you go get that $200 and do what? Buy Air Max 1 probably. Like buy something else.
No,
that's like,
hopefully I don't buy any shoes. Hopefully it goes.
Yeah, but
towards
odds are you probably buy something.
A friend of mine asked me to sell some shoes on StockX for him, and he said, "Please keep the money, and because I want you to buy whenever a sneaker comes out, use that money to buy it for that. Because if you give it to me, I'm gonna waste it at like Costco."
Yeah,
right? It's the same thing.
Like I am seeing the value in. I'm not regret. Like regret is a strong word when it comes to like inanimate objects, like a sneaker. But I do think back, like, dang man. Why did I sell those? I didn't need to sell that. In the moment, I was probably like, I don't need this Oreo 4. But then I see somebody rocking Oreo 4, like, dang, man, I had that. What did I do sell that for? I feel like everything is going back, like wearing a Jordan.
You gotta, Gregory. You gotta, like, if you gotta get into this phase where you're not buying every release, and then you're not getting rid of anything, it's gonna just cause more problems later. Eventually, to the point where you can't. Either you're out of the house or you can't afford any more new shoes.
Well, I got a question. How does StockX track sales all the way back to 2012? They didn't exist.
No, their thing is that they've always used external data from other sources.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like enough sales in here going back. Like they're definitely
because the guy, the Uber, he used to be called Campless, and he used to just have data on there, and I think he would just scrape eBay and stuff. So most likely that stuff is still
made up nonsense,
living as a remnant on the site somewhere.
This shoe right here is the shoe that I called and went into Cowtown, and this shoe is the
Neon J-Packs,
the most work I've ever done for a shoe, not to get it per se, but to find out, because that's what people don't realize now. Even this came out in 2011, let me see, when did this release? Oh, it doesn't even say. We'll just say 2011, 2012.
What shoe is it?
Neon J-Pack Dunk Low. The footwork that you used to have to do, and I know little kids, young people are tired of hearing from, hey, what's it? Is it Hey Boomer? What's the okay Boomer? They're tired of hearing from us old people about the shoe stuff, but people have it easier.
Those guys can all fuck off. There's a bunch of people replying to me like, "Oh, this aged well." When I said that Travis Scott was going to be a raffle. Right. It's like, what is that? That's not even a wit. It's nothing. It's like devoid of anything. Those people can all suck my dick from the back.
I agree.
Hey. But no, like what people don't realize is the type of leg work or footwork or whatever you want to say, just to find out when it was coming out, not even to get it. Now, this may not apply to Jordans and other stuff like that, but definitely. Oh no, I'm not going. Jordans definitely in the 90s and early 2000s. Yes, I'm only going back like 8 years here. So the internet existed, Soul Collector existed. Well, the other one, Sneaker News, existed, and SBs you still couldn't find information on unless maybe your buddy was the orderer for that skate shop from the Nike rep, and you were just getting it from him. I must have gone into and the West Side Cowtown didn't exist yet, but the one downtown did on Kennebec and Tempe. I must have gone into each one at least 2 to 3 times to find out when those neon SBs, J-Packs were coming out. And I was able to get my pair from Cowtown. I still have it. I'm glad I bought a size 12 at that time because, most of those, like I said, I was buying 11.5 because I was an idiot. It's just crazy the difference in information between 8 years ago on SBs and now. And, it may be slightly harder to get them now, especially for a Travis Scott shoe. But even in those days, for cigars, had to camp out, like not overnight, but you had to go 7, 8 in the morning, maybe a little bit earlier. Cigars, roller derbies.
But
I couldn't even get Space Jam lows. I had to buy that from somebody for like $225 or whatever, $250.
That from Cousin and them.
No, I bought that after the fact. I had it already.
Oh, okay. And see, That's a good point. I think SBs might have been the hardest sneakers to find information about. Me and Sean Miller, shout out to Sean, were sitting in the Charger.
Now that was different because that I got like 15 pairs or 12 pairs of those.
Yeah, because you had a hookup by then. But we were sitting in front of the mall at about, I think I got there 10 p.m. that night, maybe midnight that night, waiting to get Concord SBs from a store that none of us really knew if they had them or not. And then Sean came up, and this is cold. This is winter. Like, it was cold out there, sitting in the parking lot in that car, trying to wait to see if they got them or not. And then, like, just thinking back to how hard it was to get. Remember, like, sitting in a car, and then you see people walk into the store, and you constantly look at the door. You look at the door. Who's in line? Yo, they said no lines. Yo, fam, there's no lines. And then you're like, you didn't know if you should get out the car to go get in line because the security would come out. Hey, no line. Go back to your whips. Then when you see the door open, then everyone's get their car running. Like, it was a crazy time. You're making a very good point about SBs. SBs, since, following you about SBs, were one of the hardest sneakers to find any information on. I think shrimps, when we went to go get shrimps, I don't think we had found out where or who exactly was going to have them until probably like a few days before they actually came out. And we got there late. Like, I don't think we knew people were camped out there because we weren't close in the line. I don't think we weren't far.
Yeah, we were near, I think we were like 10 and 11 or something. And with the QSSBs, most people who've been buying for a while know they may get up one full-size run and then maybe like a second pair of the most popular sizes, but that's it. Like, you might get 18.
I only got my pair because that lady's card declined. Like, that lady in front of us, like, I think she was in front of you and I, or maybe you were in front of me, whatever it was. Her card declined. She went outside to get on the phone to try to figure out some stuff, and they were like, nah, too late, and they sold it to me. So back then... That's a good point, man.
And how I ended up getting my size on that shoe was crazy.
We knew where LeBron's and KD, we knew where that stuff was coming out. Maybe the like rare ones we had to like do a little bit more work, but man, SBs were work to figure out. Yeah. Like, man, that's crazy. I don't remember ever trying to cop SBs online though. Ever.
You could buy certain GRs. Most sites wouldn't put the brick and mortar pairs up, and none of them would put the QSs up. You had to have a relationship, which I built at some point with a store. And then once I stopped buying SBs, I just stopped calling them or texting them or whatever. And now it has backfired on me because I'm sure I could have got Travis Scott's and whatever else is released recently if I wanted it.
You was out here collecting SBs from the hookup and slinging them throughout the valley. Like, I was meeting up with Don, like, yo, got your Miamis for you. Meeting up with Rock and Rolls or Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but I wasn't charging over retail.
No, you were. Yeah, that was just
if I could get like 3 or 4, I would get 3 or 4 and like for Johnny Gonzalez or
I'm just
Don
like, dang, like I forgot about that period.
Abe, I think
that's one thing you've been good at, George, is you don't really have a gatekeeper type of mentality when it comes to SBs. Like I was back in the day. You don't deserve this because you haven't heard of derbies or Pac-Mans or whatever.
Right? I don't care about that.
Like now the whole point of this Travis Scott, the whole point of this shoe was to kind of like get SB back on the map, kind of get people to get those GR SBs again, those infrared ones and stuff. And so when you do that, that involves kind of getting the hype cycle people involved too, right?
I'm not gonna lie,
making these like Strange Loves and these shoes that are hard to get, right? They're hard to get by design, right?
I really debated on getting the Shadow J-Pack, whatever you want to call it, like, because it looks nice. It's just really nice.
Yeah, I have it. It's super nice.
Well, J-Packs were one of the ones that I had to have every single one, no matter what. When SBs were coming out, I had to have every single J-Pack.
You still have all of them, right?
I have all the ones that I bought, but I didn't. I mean, I stopped at a certain point, so I don't have anything past that. But I think the last one I got, and I don't even know if they technically called it the J-Pack, but it's the same color blocking. I think it's like the turquoise one or whatever it is. Jade, maybe? Jade.
Oh, that's right. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
J-Pack, low SB. And then after that was the last one I bought.
But see, that was the benefit, one of the best parts about SBs too, because I'll say this, wearing the Sakai's all weekend, that extended heel is the coolest looking idea, one of the coolest looking ideas ever. It's one of the worst ideas of all time. You have to consciously walk downstairs a certain way or you're going to scrape that part. I've scraped the back of that on everything. My waffles are beaters now. Now, wearing them, I wore them. Like, I'm in Seattle. Like, I mean, the odds of rain are coming are 50-50. Like, rain, weird streets, like mud, anything could be out there. I wore them to the fish market. There's stuff thrown around. It stank.
Cobblestones there, right?
Crazy cobblestone. Like, now, I did almost tear my ACL wearing those on cobblestone. Like, it was some wild stuff. But I wore them. Like I said,
they're an unstable shoe.
I never wore SB Dunks like I did Jordans. We wore Jordans in certain sneakers like we were, like, protecting them. SBs, I never wore them that way. And even from creasing, anything like that, which was always made them better, which is why I say Jordans are slowly, to me, coming back to being worn because people are starting to see how there's so many out there. You don't have to, like, protect your Jordans anymore. Maybe some Travis Scotts or something, but you wear your Band 1s, like, you ain't got to, like, step lightly in them. I seen homeboy wearing the Off-White 5s. That cat was walking mad wild. Like, he was walking over everything, jumping on the gum wall, doing all kind of stuff. And I was like, see, I like that. I miss that, which makes me want to put on an SB now. You wearing SBs this weekend made me want to put on an SB again. And I will. And I want to buy them again. And they were affordable. They were $100.
That's what I suggest to everyone who's upset that they can't get this Travis. Is you all have that thing in your closet that you haven't worn. Go wear that instead, because it's better wearing that than spending all this time worrying about a shoe that's going to be way too hard to get.
I saw a guy wearing metallic 5 blacks. They looked so fire, him wearing them. And I was like, what am I doing? Why don't I got metallic 5 blacks in my car? I got fire reds.
You gotta chill out.
No. See, okay.
Yes, you can't be like nostalgic about all these boots you're never gonna wear.
No. See, that's the thing. Never gonna wear and not wearing are two different things. I could wear them. I'm just not, because I could. I don't wear them because, you know what? Black and red 4s.
You think 4s are boots?
No. I've worn black and red 4s quite a bit since I've had them. And you know why? Because I don't like them. Something's wrong with them. So I don't treat them like they're special. I just wear them. Them always beat, dusty.
I mean, that's what you should do with a shoe.
Yeah, but not all of us do that. That's the point of and I've said this a long time ago. That's the reason why a lot of us have stopped wearing certain sneakers, because we treat it too special to where we can't wear it right.
It depends on what it is. Like Sock was saying earlier, if he had known that the like say he bought Tom Sachs, Mars Yard, and kept them DS and they were 3,000, he'd probably not unDSing it. Same thing. That's why.
Yeah, because I got way more sneakers that I could DS that not sell for $5,000.
Yeah, but that's fine. But
like those Off-White Dunks I got, they've probably gone up like $100 since I got them. I don't think I'm going to wear them. I mean, now my plan at the beginning wasn't to wear them anyways, but I keep on seeing people wear them. And plus, as we're in a dunk era right now, I'm like,
why don't you wear them? You should wear them.
I don't like that. It's not my favorite colorway of the three. I'd rather have the UNLV one or Travis Lowe's, or just sell them and use the money to pay something off.
It's like when I got KAWS. I had got 2 KAWS blacks, whatever. I had the one, I sold the one, then the other one I traded for the Off-White Presto. I had Off-White Presto on like $400. I had no problem wearing the Off-White Presto immediately. My Off-White Presto OG Presto is thrash. Now, I had no problem wearing that instantly because of how we took 10 L's in one day. Like, we sat there for hours. Okay, yes, you won.
Those Hyper Dunks are probably like a $600 shoe now.
You won the Draymond Greens, whatever those are. So it was like, I tried to put the value in that, and like, man, I sat here all day trying to get that. Now, Sacai waffles, I paid resale for the green pair that I have. I paid at Legend like $450 or something like that. The other ones I got for retail, but the one wasn't my size, and the other one I just didn't really care for it as much as the other ones. But I think I'm about to try to figure out what. Oh, they go for that high now? Dang, that foam. But it's an OG Off-White. It's an OG.
All the original ones go for a lot.
Bam. Yeah. The last sold in 10.5 was $2,000.
That's crazy. Paying $2,000.
I wore mine. I have the OG Prestos too, and I waited like a year and a half or so to wear them too.
I think I sold these for like $480.
Yeah, you sold them pretty low because it got scary. It got like, those had got to the point where it was like, okay, I gotta get rid of these.
Yeah, no, that's what happens with a lot of resale prices. You saw it with the 5s too, where after release the shoe was selling for $1,000, and then it's like, oh, it's only going to go up from there.
Right.
But it always comes to a point, there's a certain price where the people who get them are willing to sell for that much. Like if and that price might be like $800, right?
Right.
And you see a lot of people who sold Unions and Travis One Jordan High for like $800,
right?
And now regret it, right? Because, and then when those sell off, the price dips a bit, and then Off-White's 5s, you saw that they dipped. They went from 1,000 to 800. So yeah, so there's definitely a price point where you become a seller, and then if there's enough demand, the price will recover and go back up, or it'll keep falling like it did for the Travis 6 because that shoe's ass and not as the demand can be lower, right?
Look at that graph.
That's crazy. That grid is crazy. Now, see, I think
we'll have to save that question for next time, by the way, because I got to get out of here pretty soon.
I'm slowly reaching the point to where I don't want anything special. I don't want to sell it. Like, I just can't.
You've been saying that for years.
No, because other years I've been in trouble with secrets. So, but even this number Jordan 1 is 85. It is absolute unadulterated hot garbage. But it's my hot garbage. I won that hot garbage. All right?
Sell that one. The bread one is
I already did.
Has way more history, is way more important.
Of course.
It's not
of course
numbered, but
of course.
Get that bread one that you've never been able to get.
Oh, no, I got one now.
Well, we also sold UNC
covered in glitter
too low as well.
Oh, yeah, it's covered in glitter. I saw the box. I couldn't even believe what it was. I was like, what is this? Varsity Red OG 1 High Retro. Open the box. I was like, oh, it's a band 1.
There's a Lady Gaga video in there.
I need to sell some of those, a couple pair of DS
What
Jordan I
size
have.
UNC Off-White did you get? 9.5, 10, something like that? Or
9.5.
That's now a $1,600 shoe.
What did I sell it for? 8? 9,000?
I think I sold mine for $800.
One of the worst sneakers of all time.
And the size 11 that I have is now a $1,500 shoe.
Look, man, you can't live in the past, man.
My God.
You can't get rid of your dunks. Keep the dunks. They're going to go up more.
Nah, because that's not the same thing.
Nah, keep them. Trust me.
That's not the same thing.
People have lost their minds. Okay.
Yeah, the dunk was a shoe. These Off-White dunks that came out was like, after that, I was like, I'm not going to ruin my day for a shoe anymore because here in Canada, the Nike sneakers releases, at my time, it releases at like 3 a.m. because it's operated out of Nike Europe. Because Canada is too small for them to have their own kind of thing. So that's what it's operated out of. And so the sneakers releases all happen on EU time, which is like 8 a.m. their time or whatever. And, I woke up at 3 a.m. I entered the thing, didn't get them. And I was like, oh, fucking this. And then you're on 2 hours sleep, and then you got a whole list of things you got to do for the rest of the weekend. I was just miserable. And then like I won a raffle and I got them. And then now they're sitting here. I've never worn them. And so I'm like, why did I ruin my fucking day for that? And so
that's why if it's not on sneakers, I don't bother.
You get to the point where you got to like kind of change how you approach your sneakers.
No, I think I agree with that. I'm trying to take a different approach to it. Like I am. Like there are things that I know I love. I'm not trying to sell them. Things that is like, I'll sell them. Like, man, what is allergies are.
And also, the artist part for me is like, there's a lot of GRs I like, and it's like, do I just buy all these GRs? And sometimes I don't think, okay, I'm not going to buy them. But then, like you said, you might see them on sale for $80. Then it's like, all right. Yeah, but then they all add up, right? Like all the ones that you deliberately skipped before, you eventually get on sale. And so then it's like, am I ever skipping a shoe?
That's why
we got to get to the point where we got to start skipping some, right?
No, it is. That's why.
I figured that.
That's why. I mean, I'm sorry. I was looking at Travis Scott's 16. That's why when it comes to sneakers, like I do want to go back. The reason why we don't go back and buy the GRs that we love is because we're like, oh, we'll get those when they get cheaper. We know they're going to get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. That's why we just don't buy them when we should. Like, there's some truth to the like, if you didn't buy them when they came out, you really don't want them. It's a little bit true, but I do value my dollar more than I do that. It doesn't matter if I say Air Max 90s are washed. I would buy an Air Max 90 Vault for around $75, $80 shipped. I would. I'm not paying $140 for it, whatever it is. I'm just not. And that's just the it is what it is. There's some GR Air Max 1s that I'm following right now on Go. I'm following it like, oh yes, I can't wait to cop those. And I could cop them now, but it's like, wait a little bit. I got a feeling I'll catch them for like 97 or something. I got swipers. I don't like swipers whatsoever, but I can't sell it.
You should.
I can't sell it because I just don't want to yet. I want to see what it looks like with a certain pair of jeans I don't own yet. So, anyways, that's neither here nor there.
You tripping.
All right. You ready to go, George?
Yep.
All right.
I got to go.
That's the sneakers. Pow, 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 pow.
I appreciate you coming on the podcast. Like I said, always looking for information and all that. Appreciate your support, like always. Hit you up later. Okay.
He already hung up?
I don't know.
All right. Yeah.
I guess he hung up. Did he really hang up?
My ride is here. I guess so. Well, he did his outro.
Oh, all right. That's Dick. Bye. Let's get out of here.